Thank you, Serenia. Sure, will be some institutions contacting you or now or at some point, because it's things that we need like that. So institutional presentations, but other institutions that presented wanted also to collaborate with other institutions. So therefore, thank you very much for your inspiring presentation. Moving forward, so we will invite now Tatiana Kuroshikina. So she is a co-founder for the foundation called Quo Artis. She's a producer and curator, has a degree in history and master degree in landscape architecture for the University of Venice. Tatiana is a co-founder of this Quo Artis and Sciences Foundation. It's a not-profit organization based here in Barcelona that produces cross-disciplinary artworks, organizes exhibitions, expeditions, and conferences. So this year, the foundation has a special program supported by the UNESCO with an expedition in the Galapagos Islands that will be in August 2022. And it's and it will be, she's also a leader of the cooperation project, Roads and Seeds. It's the one that she will be talking about. So Tatiana, thank you very much. So please explain us a bit more. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alba. So yes, hi. As you heard, we have different projects. We're a very small foundation. We're 5 people, and not all of us working full time, but we are very active. And we collaborate a lot with many partners and very external curators and researchers that work for us as freelancers. Today I'm here to speak about one particular project, which is really essence of art and science, because there are, technically speaking, scientists, botanists, and artists that are working together. The project is called Roots and Seeds. Oops, sorry. Roots and Seeds 21, Biodiversity Crisis and Plant Resistance. The name is very descriptive, so it says it all. We are 4 partners here, 2 small ones and 2 big ones. And I was thinking what can I say in 10 minutes? And I thought that maybe we can really focus on people, because behind those institutions are really people. Like when we say we work with the University of Barcelona, in our case, this is how all the projects started. 2 professors of fine arts and 2 professors of botany in pharmaceutical department. They came to visit Quo Artis producers, and they spoke to us about their small-scale project called Herb Art, which is still running in the University of Barcelona, about how they could make it bigger and how it could reach a broader audience. What we were discussing with them, that there is a consistent evidence of the lack of knowledge of the botanical species, of the botanical world, about how the plants function. And because we don't have this knowledge, and we lost the connection to the plants since we became so much urban inhabitants, we also lost an empathy for those green entities who are actually, we rely on them totally. Everything we own, it's because of the plants. All our life is based on plants. So we thought, how can we speak about biodiversity crisis through more of emotional way? How could we wake up this empathy for the plants? We created a draft proposal. We spoke first to Leonardo Olatz, which is Annick Bureau, as many of you know her. She became very enthusiastic, and together we approached Ars Electronica, which also has names and faces. It's Crystal and Veronica Label. So they had a meeting, conversation, and they accepted to be our partners. So this project started in September of 2020. It's about to get to the end. We, in this frame of Roots and Seeds, we did so many activities, like only Quo Artis had 18 working packages. We really wanted this project to be, to be successful with the European Commission. So I will tell you about an open call for the production of the artworks and for the residencies. What we were trying to organize. The first residency was taking place in the house of Roger Malina near Paris, and the applicants had to explain them, the jury, and us, the organizers, what is their artistic research on the field of biodiversity crisis in the plant world, and who would be the scientists that they would like to work in this residency, to have dialogues, to have walks in the parks of Paris, and to discuss this topic. So it was also not a production-based residency. We did not want any outcome. We were just offering this free time and this possibility to spend a quality time with the scientists. Artists usually knew the scientists, so they were naming them in accordance with the previous conversations that they had with the scientists. Because as we all know, it is not an instant love that is produced between artists and scientists. You have a good dialogues with some of them and not such a good one with others. So the jury chose the proposal of Marit Mikleb, and she named Meredith Ruth Bergstrain, an ethnobiologist. And it was a bit difficult to coordinate their agendas, so we were aware about that. So our residency space was very flexible in terms of the dates. And finally, they spent 2 weeks together, and they did many walks, and their research was focused especially on the soil, on the minerals, and yeah, which is also the soil, as we know, so important for the plants. Among those proposals, we found a really very good one of Margarita Pevere, and even if we initially didn't plan to do 2 residencies, we decided to invite also Margarita to do the residence. And in this case, it was a house, a very nice villa in Treviso with a garden, where Margarita could spend 1 week focusing on her ongoing research on framing death. She was very interested about how you can see in the garden how there is a lot of life, but also a lot of death. You can meet them all at the same space. Then we did she is from the area, from Veneto. So Margarita was inviting her friends, scientists, to go for a walk in a big park in Treviso, Parco della Storga. And then we did a debate. And it's also, we will be very glad if Margarita names us in her credits of her research. The production of the artworks will be, the results of it will be shown in Ars Electronica this year, for those of you who come. Its first prize went to the collective from Russia. It's a different topic. We can discuss separately how are we producing it now in a country where you cannot make payments because they are under sanctions. This artwork explores the mistakes that were committed by agropolitics in converting a highly invasive plant that was growing peacefully in its natural environment and bringing it into agriculture. And this plant, what it did, it invaded, after the destruction of the Soviet Union, it invaded half of the Europe, and we basically have it in Germany already. So this, and the second artwork was by Laura Sinti. It was called Searching the Trial of the Female, the Living Dead. It was about a tree who totally got extinct in the nature, and there is only one specimen of it in Kew Garden. And all of the artists, all of the production grants went to the artists who worked together with researchers. So the researchers of the Kew Garden, they had this tree from the group of palm trees, who was a male specimen. So you could find all over the world about 600 or 700 of those trees who are clones of that male growing in the Kew Garden. So the artistic research was, artistic and scientific, of Laura, is to train a drone to recognize this tree and to search for a female tree in its natural environment, which was South Africa. So they trained the drone, they searched for 5 months with the conservatives of that area for the female tree, and they didn't find it. So that was a pity. We also organized multidisciplinary symposiums, concert with the plants, and we developed this kit that some of you know. Those are the guidelines for an emotional cartography of the garden. I have some with me, so some people who are interested how to do those cartographies, I can share you some copies. And all the final results of the project will be in Ars Electronica. So I think I'm running out of time, so thanks a lot for your attention.